Well, good morning, Bakersfield, surrounding communities, and everybody watching online on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Live. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk, 101.1 FM, 1230 AM. I'm Chris Burdick. That's Sparky. Sparky, good morning.
Good morning.
Let them know what they're in for.
Oh, we'll recap that hell of a Thursday night game to kick off week 15. We got all sorts of miscellaneous news, stories. We've got our boy Alejandro jumping in from Bakersfield Pizza Co, District Cafe, and Camino Real, followed by our buddy Kyle Pittser from Dionysus, who will be showing the Saturday night main event on the big screen while serving local beer at his brewery. And we've got another pair of tickets to the Holiday Lights at Com. If you'd want to jump in and get in the running, all you got to do is call or text in anytime at 661-842-2000.
Absolutely. And I realize my video is not doing very well on the stream. I'm currently trying to fix that as we speak, but we will be up and running here very, very soon on that end. We will talk all things NFL and give you an update on the Sherrone Moore situation as well, obviously, since he will be arraigned today, or he'll be seen in his arraignment today. And honestly, after watching that game last night, I know a lot of you are probably wondering what Burdick is going to say about Kirk Cousins now. Well, he had a good game. I will give him his flowers. He had a fantastic game. 3 touchdowns, over 300 yards. Apparently, the only time he can play is on a Thursday night, and the only game he can play against is against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But hey, it ends up with a W for the Atlanta Falcons, 29-28 last night. I mean, Sparky can attest to this. I was texting him during the game, incredibly frustrated, and rightfully so, in my opinion, with my team, because, I mean, who has 16 penalties in the first 3 quarters, let alone 19 in the entire game, and still win? And for those of you who are wondering, like, how many penalties has a winning team had in an NFL game before in the past? Well, I looked it up. The Raiders actually hold the record for 23 penalties and over 200 yards in a win. So we were right there to break that record. And again, Atlanta trying to put themselves in the record book as the worst possible ways imaginable. But we had a breakout game from Kyle Pitts last night. We had a fantastic game from Bijan Robinson last night.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank God. I mean, at this point, he's leading everybody in yards from scrimmage. So I think you can assume Bijan's going to produce every single week.
Yeah, well, as a fantasy owner of his, it has been it's been rough the last couple of weeks, I'll just say.
Okay,
yeah.
well, I mean, to be fair, Tyler has been getting a buttload of the targets and a buttload of the carries. So
Which,
I mean, not
watching that game, it was entertaining, but like you said, penalty after penalty after penalty, man.
And to be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure what the deal was. I don't know if they just came out flat or if they just told themselves, you know what, we're going to do everything possible to lose this football game, because that's what it looked like to me, if I'm being completely honest with all of you. But it ended up working out for him in the end, 29-28. And now the question is Todd Bowles on the hot seat? I personally would say no, but that's just me. But at the same time, I mean, I'm sitting here talking about John Harbaugh potentially being fired. So this is going to be an off season to really remember in the NFL, especially if you're a coach, because I'm starting to believe what Sparky said yesterday might end up being what happens. 10 maybe coaches be on the hot seat, if not fired, after this season, just because NFL teams are fed up with losing. And again, don't necessarily blame them, but in this situation, it's weird. The beginning of the year, much like the Colts, we were talking about the Bucs and Baker Mayfield as a whole as a potential MVP candidate. And they've really spiraled since then, losing to the Saints, now us, and the Falcons last night. There are some questions that I think a lot of people would like answered from Todd Bowles, and one of them could be, can you even get us back there? Because I think a lot of the time everyone's sitting here thinking, well, he did get you guys to a Super Bowl, so maybe you just give him the benefit of the doubt. But can you get him back there without Tom Brady? That's going to be a big question.
How far or how long is that rope that you give a guy like that?
That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, how long? I mean, he looked frustrated. Baker Mayfield looked frustrated. And I mean, with Jake Matthews, AJ Terrell, like all these guys trying to lose this game.
Oh my God.
And luckily
the wide receivers who apparently can't block and can only hold somebody. Like I was texting you last night, and reiterating what I had been saying for weeks, which is this team is just unwatchable at times. It really is. It's just embarrassingly unwatchable. And I don't know exactly how you fix this. I, for the first time as a Falcons fan, was sitting there watching this game last night saying, wow, I kind of feel bad for Raheem Morris. That's saying something because Raheem, again, as much as I love him, hasn't been the best coach for Atlanta this year at all. So, but you could see the visible frustrations he's having because it seems like every big play that Atlanta has, especially in these big games, gets called back for some stupid penalty, holding, offsides, multiple false start penalties from Kyle Pitts specifically. The only reason I forgive him is because he had a ridiculous game that made up for it. Let's be honest.
Best tight end game since Shannon Sharp.
Absolutely.
3 touchdowns, 166 yards. I mean, this guy was all over the place.
You know what's funny is I saw a tweet that this is probably like somebody has just watched the Falcons for the first time in years and now believes Kyle Pitts is the greatest tight end of all time. Like, don't get me wrong. I love Kyle. And honestly, I think this game actually saved Kyle. I think this game specifically will keep Kyle Pitts in Atlanta. I think this will get him re-signed because this is a sign of what we were hoping he would always be. So if we at least have something to go off of that he could potentially be that guy, I think Atlanta re-signs him. Was it Kurt really putting him in the right situations? God only knows. But right now, all you could really say, Atlanta pulled off a win that they absolutely needed. They're out of the playoff contention regardless. So they're really just trying to ruin the Rams draft pick at this point, which, by the way, I have to highlight that as well. Everybody I know has been telling me, oh, you guys don't even have a first round draft pick. You guys are screwed. I'm pretty sure James Pierce is working out real well for us right now. 7 sacks in 6 games. The first player to do that since Micah Parsons. So I think Atlanta won that trade. I don't give a dang if we don't draft a first rounder in this next draft. Plus, it actually helps us because we don't have to worry about a big contract that we're going to have to deal with.
I like a couple of those defensive guys you picked up.
Absolutely. I honestly, every defensive rookie we have this year, I am absolutely ecstatic about. Billy Bowman, Xavier Watts, Walker, Pierce.
Walker, that's the one I like.
All of them. Studs. Dorless, who's not a rookie, but he's looking fantastic. We finally found somebody that could fill in for Grady. And honestly, I wish we still had Grady Jarrett because if Grady Jarrett was working with this front 7, oh my God, the things he could wreak in the backfield right now for Atlanta. But he's playing with the Bears right now and is probably loving life as they make the playoffs. All in all, though, this was a fantastic game from the Falcons outside of the penalties and the ridiculous ways they were trying to lose this game on all facets. And a couple lucky bounces. I cannot deny that.
Those fumbles, man.
Those fumbles were ugly. Bijan didn't think he actually fumbled. Yeah, you did.
It always looks way bigger when it's slow-mo.
It does.
But in regular time, it didn't look like a fumble at first.
It didn't. But
then as soon as I saw the replay, I was like, yeah.
He took an extra step. Because I was thinking the same thing. It's like, no, he knocked that out before he actually got possession of the ball. Nope. He absolutely had possession. It hit right when it needed to. And that's a fumble. That's an absolute fumble. And what did I text you last night, Spark? I was absolutely frustrated thinking we were going to lose this game 35-14. That's the exact score I gave Sparky last night, 35-14. And luckily, Atlanta was able to turn it around after that last touchdown from Tampa Bay, winning the game 29-28. Now, the one thing everybody's talking about is the post game right now because Bijan let something slip. And I'm going to come out and say, I don't fault him at all. Okay, I grew up with the exact same game he's talking about. I mean, we've talked about it off air and how absolutely not. You cannot play that game anymore, at least call it the way we called it back in the day. And I appreciate him going to social media and apologizing for it right afterwards, taking responsibility and saying, hey, man, that's on me. It was a slip. But I've heard certain programs, certain radio programs, certain television programs that are all now kind of sitting there trying to blame Bijan, saying, oh, you know, we all thought he was a good guy, but is he really?
I have no idea what he said. I didn't watch the post game.
So they were joking in the post game, him and Kyle Pitts, and came up. And they quickly realized what they said, turned it around, called it something completely different. I believe they called it kill the carrier afterwards. I don't know if that's what it's called now. But for those of you who grew up a millennial or a Gen Xer or anything before that, we all called it that. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying that we should call it that today at all. But I am saying everybody coming out and questioning this kid's credibility or at least his maturity and who he is just because of one slip up, y'all are ridiculous. This is something he lived with throughout his entire life. He's excited they just won this game, which, to be honest with you, had no reason to win at all. This game should have gone the other way. But he's excited. His boy is with him. He's excited as well. It slipped. It's not that big of a deal. Honestly, it's really not. It's not like he came out and was blurting out some really bad stuff. But at the end of the day, he's gonna get grief for this. He's absolutely gonna get grief for this. But to question the guy's character, let's calm down. Bijan has done nothing for anybody to believe that he's a bigot or anything along those lines. It's kind of ridiculous. Actually, I shouldn't say kind of. It is ridiculous for anybody to come out and say that this guy is not who he truly is just based off of one slip up. I don't get it, but at the same time, I'm not meant to. I'm a fan of the Falcons. I'm a fan of Bijan Robinson. And to be honest, I'm going to defend this kid till the day I die, more than likely, unless he comes out to actually be a massive bigot. And then I will eat my words and everybody can lay in on me as well. But until that day happens, I'm gonna protect the kid. I really am. I think it's kind of ridiculous that everybody's attacking him for this when it was simply a slip up. That's all we can really boil it down to, in my opinion. Who we got on the phone?
Daily Dave.
Mr. Dave, how are you, sir?
Just commenting about calls this week, starting with the Ravens call where the guy had the touchdown catch and they called it off.
Yeah, we talked about that early in the week. I mean, the explanation they gave didn't really make sense, but then again, we saw it last night of an example of how that could technically go as well, because 3 steps, that's essentially what Bijan had dealt with, and he lost the fumble. So I guess the rule kind of holds up in that realm. But how'd you feel about Atlanta having 19 penalties, though, last night? Do you think that all of those should have been called?
Probably not, but I thought it was a definite push off on the butt down, elbow down.
Oh, the Kyle Pitts touchdown?
The ball, he pushed off. All 3 defenders are like, he pushed. They don't call offensive pass interference. That's just as bad as a defensive pass interference. And they've been missing some calls on defensive pass interference where the guy's holding onto the jersey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's plain to see on television, but maybe the ref can't see it. I don't know. Baker Mayfield, he's such a gamer.
Mm.
And I felt bad for the coach, that team. And I just hate to see games called where it looks like there's an obvious offensive pass interference, call it, and the touchdown, even they don't even have to look at the review for if it's butts in or not. That's all.
100%. I understand and I agree with you, but like you just said, offensive pass interference never really gets called. We see instances of this all the time. All the time.
Oh, yeah.
There were multiple wide receivers for Tampa Bay that got away with it, including Mike Evans on a couple plays. And like they just don't really look for that anymore. You have to give at least some leeway to the offense so they can get some chances to actually separate themselves from a defender.
And it's a scoring league. I mean, it's a passing league. It's a
100%.
scoring league for there. You got that right. But I just started. I watched the replay on last night before the game, and I'm watching that catch in the end zone. I call that a catch, and I know the stupid 3.
Yeah, the 3 foot down. Yeah, we both agreed. I mean, Sparky said it himself. That should have been a touchdown for likely. But
I mean, if you're going to run with the ball and the tip of the ball hits the line and the game, the play is over, it's called a touchdown. As soon as he catches the ball and he's in the end zone, that should be a touchdown. They need to review that. They got to change that. I don't know. I was a wide receiver, and I prided myself on tucking that ball away. So
but likely never really got a chance to tuck the ball away. Really, he was trying to keep it away from the defender as best as he could.
And I was always taught that once you have control of the ball and you are over the line, that's a touchdown. Nothing after
that matters. But
I know that's what I was always taught too. Once you have control of the ball and you're over that line, if the tip is just touching the line, you have a touchdown.
Mhm.
Hands are up. And I can't believe that Harbaugh didn't lose his mind that night.
Oh, he did. Trust me. He lost his mind on the sideline. I saw it, but it doesn't really matter if the coach tries to fight the referee about it. It matters what the ref is going to turn around and call. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, we've seen coaches gripe for their side. I saw Raheem Morris last night gripe on almost half of those holding calls, but it's not going to change the call any.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, you're right. It went both ways. So what's going to happen with the grandfather league this coming weekend? Are we going to see a grandpa playing?
Yeah, I think as it sits right now, Riley Leonard's still questionable to play, so it's highly likely that Phillip Rivers plays this weekend. Whether that works out for the Colts or not, jury's still out. So we'll see what happens. I hope he's going to be okay after heading to Seattle and playing that incredible defense, but it's going to be rough.
Doesn't he have like two of the greatest defenses this year to play against if he does play?
Absolutely
Seattle,
does, because he's got three, because if you count Jacksonville at the same time, because he's got, if I'm remembering correctly, the last four for the Colts are the Seattle game this weekend, and then the Niners, and then Jacksonville and Houston. So
Houston's out there. Oh my God!
You want to talk about a gauntlet to go through for a 44-year-old, but regardless, it's going to come down to if he can stay healthy. Because at this point, I think that's really what the Colts are hoping for, is that they can keep one of these quarterbacks that they own healthy. So,
well, unfortunately, they started out like gangbusters. Their running back was doing great. Their new quarterback was doing great.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, what I always say about the end of the year: baseball, basketball, the team that's the healthiest is usually the team that wins.
You are absolutely correct on that, sir. And this NFL season could not be more of an instance of that. So I agree with you 100%. Thank you for your call, Dave. We really appreciate it. Let's take an early break, Sport, because there's a whole bunch to get to about the games coming up this weekend, including we got an answer from Joe Burrow about those cryptic text messages we were talking about yesterday. And even one of his closest friends on the team didn't believe those were real. So we'll get to all of that on the other side. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. Welcome back. Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk, 101.1 FM, 12:30 a.m. We are also streaming video on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. You can actually find that stream at our website at kgeo.com as well. There'll be a little icon there with a picture. I believe it's just a direct link to our YouTube, so you can find it right there. Feel free, like, subscribe, and be up to date on all things sports as we can, and on our Instagram and TikTok as well. Let's talk about some of the things that we were mentioning yesterday. I mean, we're a football show at heart, but there was one interesting thing that happened yesterday that neither I nor Sparky really had an answer for. And that was Joe Burrow coming out on social media and saying he's not having fun with this anymore. He's not having fun playing football anymore. And that's a cryptic message, especially when we were just talking about the fact that this guy's career is really paralleling somebody of Andrew Luck not too long ago, especially with the injuries. But the media finally got an answer out of Joe on what these mean. So let's hear from Joe Burrow real quick.
If I want to keep doing this, I have to have fun doing it. I've been through a lot, and if it's not fun, then what am I doing it for? So that's the mindset I'm trying to bring to the table.
Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but it seemed frustrating.
There's just a lot of things going on right now.
Football related, personally?
All the above. Like you said, there's nothing. All we can do is focus week to week and try to win games. I don't think anybody's really thinking about the playoffs right now. That's within reach, but on our fingertips. So we just got to keep doing what we're doing and try to get better.
God, I don't know who's typing away on their typewriter,
The
but
nails,
Jesus. Obviously, Joe Burrow, very frustrated. I don't know if necessarily it's with the Cincinnati Bengals or maybe he's just frustrated with things in general in his personal life. And like I highlighted yesterday, Joe Burrow's never been one of those people that's been outwardly, ecstatic. He's not somebody that you could walk up to and you expect a bubbly personality. He's always very calm, cool, collected. So him saying that he has to have fun playing this to continue makes a lot of sense because much like a lot of us in our jobs, nobody wants to work somewhere that you aren't having a good time. You're spending the vast majority of your life working. And Joe has been one of the best quarterbacks since he's came into the league. I think this scares a lot of people, especially in the Cincinnati Bengals front office, of a potential retirement. And honestly, if anybody knew how Joe Burrow felt, it should be his best friend on the team, Jamar Chase, right? Let's hear from Jamar real quick on what he told the media yesterday.
I thought this was an AI. I'm not. Did this really happen though? That's real?
Yesterday? Yeah.
Well, it depends on what you saw.
I don't really know nothing about it at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? That's something.
You might have seen something that we're not.
I mean, but like I've seen a little bit from the TV walking outside from practice, and then like I turned my eyes, but I don't know nothing about it. At the end of the day, I see him the same every day. To me, he loves football. You know what I'm saying? But that's a him question. I can't answer that for him. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day.
And I'm asking for your perspective. I'm not trying to.
I don't know. From what I see the same person every day. You know, he comes to work. He loves work. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he don't look like he's bummed to be here, you know?
But I
Looks the same every day.
So from what I'm gathering from Jamar's comments and from Joe's comments, Jamar knows Joe better than probably anybody on this team. They've gone to college together. They played with each other for a long, long time. They're really good friends. Jamar sees that Joe still loves football. He still loves working, and he still wants to play, which points the finger more at, to me at least, Joe's not happy in Cincy. Whether that's the front office threatening to fire his head coach, whether it's the long-standing injuries and not getting him an offensive line to really protect him. I don't know what his actual reasons are, but there is clearly some frustration on the Joe Burrow side of camp. A lot of people still, like I said earlier, floating around the possibility of an early retirement. An Andrew Luck kind of a situation, like Sparky has highlighted on multiple occasions, including one Dan Orlovsky. Now, I kind of want to play the video from Orlovsky, but at the same time, I could pretty much parrot what he says. But at the end of the day, Orlovsky believes that there is a possibility that there could be an early retirement in Joe Burrow's future, or a team could reach out and really make it interesting for him. He's got 3 on top of his head. That was the Jets, the Raiders, and the Steelers. Post Aaron Rodgers, obviously. Now, you guys know how I feel about interdivisional trades. It never really happens. The other 2, though, possibly could, especially with how high their draft picks are. And Cincinnati desperately needs picks. They desperately need to build something in Cincy to make it work. I don't think going to the Jets or the Raiders is a good thing for Joe Burrow. If you think that he's frustrated now, try playing behind an offensive line in Las Vegas that has absolutely made Geno Smith look incompetent. But is it that or an early retirement for Joe? That's really where all of this is going to be headed. And you heard him himself. He's not even focused on the playoffs. They still have a chance. Cincinnati fans are begging to the heavens right now that they win out and something happens where they make it. And Joe was sitting there saying, I'm not even focused on it. Hey, it's within grasp, but God, and that also tells me he doesn't believe his roster is good enough to make it. But that's just my personal opinion. What are your thoughts on all this, my friend?
I will repeat what I've been saying. I just think it's more of a retirement. I don't see a trade ever happening. I don't see Cincinnati, and we've all known that Cincinnati's got hard-headed management, and I just don't see it. I don't think it, even if it was multiple first-round picks, I don't see Cincinnati trading Burrow.
No.
And I think it's more in Burrow's court, and I think you're seeing the frustration, and I just think it's more leaning on we're going to see a Andrew Luck type thing, or we're just going to see this guy get hurt year after year, and we've seen it.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely fair.
And I can understand not focusing on the playoffs. I know a lot of quarterbacks and their wording, and it's kind of mixed. And I mean, I'm coming from a Dolphin fan. I've heard 40 quarterbacks over the last 20 years talk about, trying to fill shoes that they can never fill and blah, 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 blah. But overall, I think Burrow he's had a rough year, and he's been down this road before. He knows what the out goal is, but I think, last year in the offseason, it was more worried about his receivers and getting his guys back, and they did that. And it put them in a situation where we all kind of saw, okay, well, they're going to put all the money into the offense and not much in the defense. They'll get a first-round pick out of it, and we saw how they dragged their feet on that one. And, Hendrickson is probably the next guy out. Now that he's out for the season, he's probably going to be shopped or find a new home in the offseason. But I think it's really up to Burrow, the caliber of player he is. I don't see Cincinnati flinching and trying to trade this guy. And I think Burrow he's kind of made his bed, and he's either going to have to lay in it, or he's going to have to he's going to probably retire.
Well, that's a brilliant point that I was going to bounce off you too. Does Joe have some sort of responsibility for this? Because again, like you just said, he was more focused on getting his receivers back than really signing anybody to protect him. And that's really, I think, the long and short of why Cincinnati went and paid, kind of overpaid, in my opinion, T. Higgins, instead of using that on potentially defensive players and or tackle.
Yeah, offensive line.
To help you. So, I mean, I get Joe's frustrations. I really do. I understand him. But does he not hold some of the responsibility for it?
Oh, yeah, he does.
I mean, if the stories are true, again, we're not in the front offices of Cincinnati. All we heard, though, was that Joe Burrow was very vocal about wanting to get his boys back and make sure the wide receivers didn't go anywhere. But the amount of money that they had to spend to make that happen kind of relied on Joe. Because if Joe turned around and said, hey, you need to sign Trey and make sure Trey is happy, I'm pretty sure they would have signed Trey Hendrickson to a long-term deal or whatever deal Trey wanted.
Oh, yeah. He's the face of that team.
Exactly. So frustrations may mount, especially when the season's not going your way. And maybe he really likes Zach Taylor, doesn't want him to go anywhere.
That's what the next thing I was going to say, because, a quarterback and the coach, that is a important relationship.
Yes, 100%.
And I could see that he's getting frustrated because he probably sees the paint on the wall. Like, he could probably see, okay, we didn't live up to what we were hoping to get this year, even with all the cards in their court, aside from the injuries, but everything what we've seen out of Baltimore and, the rest of the teams in that division. but he's also not lived up, with the another injury. And, this is an opportunity with Buffalo struggling, Kansas City struggling, Baltimore struggling. And,
they could have easily
as a
taken
quarterback,
the division.
it's in his head, and he probably sees, okay, the next move is probably going to be Zach Taylor, and I'm going to probably lose Hendrickson,
which means
and
you have to restart with a brand new coach,
Exactly.
brand new offensive line,
and you got to be frustrated
in
as a team leader, team captain. You got to be frustrated seeing what the future looks like right now.
Absolutely. And again, that's why I had to highlight that, because it's like, I get his frustrations. I really do. And last thing that I want to see, or I think any football fan really wants to see, is Joe Burrow retire early.
Yeah. And taking it a step higher. I mean, if you're the team, say you're the team owner or the team GM, I mean, what are you doing? Knowing, okay, Burrow controls his destiny,
his future,
but the other things that we can control is, one, we needed a better offensive line. We need to protect the guy, which we've said for years. I mean, how many more season-ending injuries or long, serious injuries does it take for a team GM to be like, dude, me and you sitting in Kern County doing a show can tell you, okay, they need to build that offensive line and add some defensive key makers.
And you know what's funny? The gripe that we have said since the offseason was the Bengals were going to have to score 50 points a game in order to beat anybody. And that's because the defense is going to give up 45. If you had an offensive line that was stout, we would all believe that that's actually possible. But because your offensive line is so bad, we don't. And we can't see it being a possibility. So it's like that's why just all of this, although again, I understand the frustrations, it has to mount back to, dude, you kind of made your own bed here. And now if they do move on from him, it's just going to look like one of the most wasted talents in their franchise. Because Joe Burrow, again, I will die on this hill. Joe Burrow is probably top 5, if not top 3 quarterbacks when he's healthy. And for Cincinnati to waste that away is baffling to me, especially when you went and signed the wide receiver that perfectly fit with him. I just don't get it. I really don't. The Cincinnati front office, the Cincinnati franchise in general has boggled my mind for the last 3 years. I mean, we've talked about it as a dumpster fire. It's probably growing to the size of the Cleveland Browns at this point.
Yeah, and it reminds me a lot of what Detroit was doing with Matt Stafford.
Absolutely. And it's like, dude, you guys clearly aren't getting it. What do we need to do to turn that around and show that you finally can understand if Joe stays healthy and stays upright, you have a chance to win?
So I'll ask you that question again. If you're the billionaire that is running the Bengals, I mean, what are you doing this offseason?
Honestly, I don't think you're going to have a choice. I really don't. I don't think
build
you're going to have a
offensive line
choice
as much as you can,
if you even have that opportunity. Because to be honest with you, the draft pick might be nice, but are you even going to be able to sign him? We saw what happened with the what's the defensive end's name that I'm completely forgetting right now? Their first round draft pick that it took them forever to sign. Sherrone Moore. Thank you, Shamar. It took them forever to sign him, and it's all based on incentive stuff that these players are expecting coming out of college now. And if you're not willing to play ball at that level, how are you going to sign any draft pick going forward, let alone the one you just got? So at this point, I think it's going to end up being just your hands are tied, dude. You're going to have to trade Joe and probably Jamar at the same time. Because I guarantee you Jamar ain't staying if Joe's not here.
I was going to say, you probably can't control what Burrow does. Nope. And he's probably got a clause that he has to be able to pick his team.
Probably.
And I'm probably the first try, which is probably going to be a big strikeout, but I'm going to try to shop Higgins, which there is a lot of wide receiver needy teams. Maybe somebody will bite like the Raiders or the Bills, maybe even the Jets, maybe somebody like that. But that's just clearing up for one tackle.
That's what
maybe
I'm saying.
2.
And is that even
defense?
Enough?
Your defense is still hurting.
And is there going to be a tackle or a guard out there that's going to even be worth putting the money down on?
Right.
Like again, it's all wasted.
And especially if you're firing your coach, then you're starting all over with the new regime.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be insane. And this offseason, I think, is going to be one of the craziest ones because I'm still thinking 8 to 12 coaches are going to be looking for jobs.
12 now, dang.
Yeah, the more I watch, I wasn't thinking about the Buccaneers, but the Buccaneers continue to do what they're doing.
If Todd Bowles ends up throwing this season away, why wouldn't they fire?
And if it's
or at least
shocking as Baltimore or the Pittsburgh, whoever doesn't win that division, I'm still thinking the Bills. I'm still thinking maybe the Dolphins. I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets, which, as you know, they say that are going to keep with Glenn, but who knows? The Raiders. I mean, there's so many damn teams that are a coach away from at least taking a step forward.
My only issue is if he gets traded to the Raiders or the Jets, you're not getting in front of a better offensive line, so it's not going to help you any. And honestly,
and you don't have the weapons.
No, and going to the Jets or the Raiders would be equally as much frustrating just because of what we've seen from them and what they believe is, what builds a successful team. Because I don't know, like you said, man, we've seen plenty of football in our lives, and we can see it from here in Kern County. If you don't build an offensive line, it ain't going to help. Nothing is going to help. So, I don't think Cincinnati really has a choice anymore. I think if you are going to keep Joe happy and keep Joe there, you need to do something. And if not, trade him away now. Just trade him away now. Because if we hear this next season that he's unhappy in the first 4 weeks, all the media is going to run with is you're wasting the talent.
Cash out while it's
Cash
hot.
out while it's hot. Exactly. Because if you don't, you're wasting that opportunity too. So I don't know exactly what Cincinnati's going to end up doing. I do think that you're right. I think some moves, maybe moving on from T. Higgins and some of these other highly paid players that aren't doing well. I shouldn't say that because T. Higgins is having a great season, but they're not exactly getting the production that they need in other areas. So you need to be able to use that to your advantage and use these key players to get those players that are going to help. So hopefully Cincinnati figures it out and we don't see an early retirement from Joe Burrow because, God, I would hate to see that. But then again, he may pull a Brett Favre and just say, hey, I'm retired, and then find a team that actually wants to sign him and then say, I'm unretired, and here we are. And talking about unretired, we'll take a break. On the other side, we'll get to this Phillip Rivers situation because it is likely that he will play this weekend against the Seattle Seahawks. I'm not sure exactly if we're going to see a man die or not, and I'm not excited to watch it. But Tom Brady had some interesting comments as well, as Colin Cowherd asked him, would he ever consider doing something like this? And honestly, the answer kind of surprised me. I'm not going to lie. Let's take a break. We'll get to that on the other side. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. Welcome back.
Again, if you want those holiday lights at COM, you can call it 661-842-1000. Speaking of retirement.
So everybody's been talking about it. Philip Rivers coming back to the age of 44, being signed to the practice squad of the Colts, and now most likely playing this weekend if Riley Leonard isn't healthy. This is a topic of conversation across the board, though. You guys heard me yesterday really say that we need to put some teeth into a lot of these things, especially the retirements and unretirements. I personally think it's kind of ridiculous that we have these players coming in and out of retirement just one more Super Bowl run. And like I said, what's stopping guys like JJ Watt from doing that? What's stopping guys like Aaron Donald from doing that? And again,
That's funny you say that because I almost texted you this morning. I don't know what time you wake up, so I didn't touch it. But
about 4 or 5 in the morning,
there was another player that tweeted out yesterday. It was Hall of Famer Patrick Willis.
Yes, I've heard Willis, and actually would love to see Patrick Willis back in the NFL if I'm being completely honest with you, because he retired early. But again, I have stated this. If you retire, it is supposed to be a very serious decision. It's supposed to be a final decision. When you retire, you're supposed to stay retired. But apparently, there are some people that believe they could just pull guys out at the age of 40 and say, you could still play football. Come play for us, even though you haven't seen the field in 5 years. Well, Tom Brady was asked about this on Colin Cowherd's show recently and the possibility of him unretiring. And this is what Tom had to say.
If I said to you tomorrow, ring, Tom, can you play Sunday? Could you generate drives?
Yes, I certainly could. But first of all, who retires and then unretires and then is ultimately going to retire? Who does that? I think the answer for me would be yes. But I'm very excited to watch Philip play because it speaks to, how much he loves the game and really what he's able to do still. And this game is about for the quarterback from the neck up. And that doesn't really go away. That's still up there. Do you have the physical ability to still do it, take the hits, make the throws? If Philip has been practicing those things, then we're all going to see it on full display in Seattle on Sunday afternoon.
And he's absolutely right. If all things were perfect in this world, Philip Rivers is still going to look like Philip Rivers back in the day of the Chargers. He's going to throw some touchdowns to Pittman. He's going to hand the ball off to Jonathan Taylor, and the Colts are going to go back to looking like one of the best offenses in the entire NFL. In a perfect world. But this isn't a perfect world. The guy hasn't seen the field in 5 years. And I know some of you are probably texting and thinking, well, Tom did this too. Tom retired really quickly and then came back. You're absolutely right. I remember that day. I was ecstatic when I got that text message coming across ESPN that said, Tom Brady retires from football. Holy hell. It was the greatest day of my life, especially after the 28-3 fiasco. But Tom came back, played for the Buccaneers for a couple more years and won a Super Bowl. The difference is Tom never took time off in the season. Tom never took 5 years off. And I'm getting a text message here from my brother-in-law who's a diehard Niners fan who says Patrick Willis hasn't played in 11 years. 11 years! Are we really going to entertain that? Like, don't get me wrong. Would I love to see Patrick Willis come back and play like Patrick Willis? 110%. But is that going to happen?
Yeah, this ain't Madden.
Hell no. So we will see what happens this weekend with the Colts. I am not at all going to sit here and say Philip Rivers is going to look like Philip Rivers.
I think he's going to do well.
I don't know, dude.
I personally think if it was different teams, different situations, but I think the offense is built for, a guy like Daniel Jones, but a guy, if they can minimize that offensive playbook and just let him sling it here and there and then give the ball to Jonathan Taylor half the time, I think he'll be fine, but that offensive line is going to have to keep him up.
Oh, 100%. And don't get me wrong, one of the best offensive lines in football right now is the Colts. So the possibility of that happening is up there. But like you just said, the offense is built around a guy like Daniel Jones, who is mobile. Philip is not going to be mobile. I can promise you that right now. And we are at the point of the season where minimizing your offensive playbook is not a good thing. We need to absolutely extend it. We need to open that baby up. We need to have every play accessible, every single one. And if it's not, NFL defenses are going to make you look stupid.
Oh, of course, Seattle too. That true test.
3 of the top NFL defenses right now. So, again, perfect world. All of this is going to look great. We're going to hear McAfee on Monday singing the praises of Phillip Rivers as if he's a god of football and he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. But let's be honest, this isn't going to be that way. In fact, if Anderson gets one shot at the end of the year at this guy, I'm afraid we're going to see Phillip Rivers most likely get carted off, which is not going to be a positive thing for anybody. So I'm not sure why everybody's believing Phillip Rivers is just going to magically turn into Phillip Rivers of old, but we're going to find out on Sunday, I guess, if Riley Leonard isn't healthy. Because again, you have to highlight that if Riley Leonard's healthy, more than likely he is the starter.
Yeah, the quickest or the most updated is that they are still on the table, haven't made a quarterback decision yet. And something I wanted to bring up before we take our break and welcome in Alejandro.
Yes.
TJ Watt.
Yeah, this is a very scary situation for those who are Steeler fans. I'm sure you know this. Others that don't will help you out. But TJ Watt, superstar of the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, has been in the hospital for the last couple days with a lung issue.
Yeah, some lung discomfort, and some reports are coming out that it could be some blood clot issues. It could be even deeper. And as of right now, of course, they haven't made anything public about his play for the rest of the season. But as of right now,
he most likely won't play on Monday.
Yeah, he probably won't play for a while.
And I would hate to see. I mean, we're talking about early retirements. I'd hate to see TJ go down because of a blood clot issue. But something in the lung, that's very, very serious. The team kind of noted it on Wednesday before practices, and that's when Tomlin sent him to the trainer, and then they sent him to the doctors. I hope that he's going to be able to make a full recovery from this. I'm sure it's just something that's, a little bit of a shakeup for him. And like Aaron Rodgers said in a quote, if there's one family that can bounce back from anything, it's most likely the Watt family. But at the same time, if I'm TJ, that's scary, man. Your lungs, literally the thing you need to breathe. No, I'm not messing with that. And blood clots are really, we've seen athletes in every sport dealing with this type of thing. Dame Lillard, it took him out the most of the season. Victor Wembanyama had issues with it. Blood clots are not something just to shy away from. That is definitely life-threatening at some point. So I hope that they're able to, help him out through all of this and get him into some sort of healing state. And we see him in a week, maybe two, come back to the Pittsburgh Steelers. But we will keep you updated as much as we can throughout this entire situation. Hopefully we hear some good news here in the upcoming days. Real quick, before we get to our break, I know we got some text messages. So what we got on the board, man?
We got 4 or 5 lineup questions. The first one says Dallas Goedert against the Raiders or Evan Ingram against the Packers.
Again, I told you guys last week, as much as I liked Evan Ingram coming into this season, he's really been I don't want to say a non-factor, but hasn't been the same tight end we thought he was going to be for this offense, at least not yet. So I'm going to say stick with Goddard. And Hurts seems to like to throw to Goddard a lot when he is in trouble. So it seems like that might be the problem, or that might be the go-to.
And we expect Max Crosby to go full on on him. So
if
I'm
he can
sure
get to him.
He could hit Goddard several times. One says in that way of Burrow, I think my Ravens should trade Lamar.
I've heard a lot of people say that in the past, that they're just not happy or they don't believe Lamar can get them over the top. We've heard Lamar being traded a couple times in his career already. So the possibility will always be there. I don't know if the Baltimore Ravens, though, at least within the next 2 years, do that. I think if this continues for a year or two, I think you'll hear stirrings of it.
The tight end, keeping it with tight ends, Fannin versus the Bears or Kelsey versus the Chargers.
Honestly, Fannin, if I'm being completely honest, he looks fantastic. He's been absolutely racking up targets and yards for the Browns the last couple of weeks. And Kelsey, for some reason, last week looked lost. I know you took on the Texans and it was an ugly game for you, especially when they bullied him down to the sideline. But playing against teams like the Chargers, I don't know if he's going to get open as much as he would like to. So I would probably go with Fannin.
The other one says, I know you guys talk wrestling, so you probably heard Bubba Ray's episode this week saying he believes Cena's final match will be at WrestleMania. I'd love to see it, but the way he's been talking, so you really think he's actually going to come back after all this promoting that this is the end?
No, this is it. This is the last. I know Bubba's been on that track for a long time. He's wanted this to be Mania. And to be honest with you, I want it to be Mania too. It just fits John Cena and John Cena's final match. But I do genuinely believe this Saturday will be John's final match against Gunther. Then again, though, it's wrestling. And as we all know, no one fully retires from wrestling. John claims he's going to be the first one to ever do it.
But I also heard some mumbling about The Rock being there.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
Man.
I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out and just raises his hand one last time before, John walks off. And again, I have to highlight my frustration with the WWE right now before we get into that with our guy Kyle Pittser in the second half of this show. You put him first. All of this build up. And that's the opener to Saturday night's main event. We're not watching the rest of it. I'm going to tell you right now, we're not watching the rest of it. I love the NXT kids too, but I ain't watching the rest of it. I'm going to be crying my eyes out. You put John Cena's match first. What's wrong with you? Let's take a break. On the other side, we'll talk to our guy Alejandro from Bakersfield Pizza Company. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. Welcome back. Early Bird Special Hour 2 right here on KGEO Sports Talk, 101.1 FM, 1230 AM. You can also find us video-wise on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and KGEO.com. We are awaiting our guest of the day, first guest of the day, I apologize, Mr. Alejandro Ocampo from Bakersfield Pizza Company, the District, I'm sorry.
District
and
Cafe.
Camino Real as well.
Mm.
He'll be here momentarily. But before we get to him, was anybody else disappointed yesterday? And possibly disappointed in me because I gave you all false hope. I did. I heard the rumor and I bit. We were supposed to get an Avengers trailer yesterday. It never happened. We got a whole bunch of other ones, though. We got a Supergirl trailer. That looked fantastic. James Gunn's next film in this entire DC HBO run that they're having. And I believe there's a couple Star Wars games that got announced yesterday as well for you inner nerds like I can't wait to check those out. But I was disappointed. I was really looking forward to what we were going to get from this whole doomsday situation. And maybe because it leaked, Disney decided, we're not going to give it to you now. Somebody cheated. So now we have to take it away from you. And that's not fair, but it is what it is. That's how Disney rolls. And I kind of get it. At the end of the day, we're going to get this trailer eventually, though. And as much as I am a Marvel fan, I am going to be watching every single day this weekend to see if it actually drops. And real quick, while Sparky is pulling in our guest, I should highlight this as well before we get to him. But Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza has been named the Associated Press Player of the Year. Very well deserved and most likely the first step in the Heisman Trophy winner or potential Heisman Trophy winners step to winning that said Heisman Trophy. But Fernando being one of those players that just everybody looked at to lead their team, 39 touchdowns, I believe, on the year, leading them to an undefeated season and bringing the Hoosiers to some sort of relevancy in the world of football. I personally believe this is a award that he should have won. I do believe that he is the best player so far in the NCAA this season. And this is well deserved from Fernando Mendoza, and hopefully the first step towards the Hoosiers getting to the championship down there in the college football playoff. And then real quick, as we await our guest as well, we'll get you the information on Sherrone Moore, who will be awaiting his arraignment hearing today. Some information came out yesterday that I'm still kind of skeptical about, if I'm being completely honest, but at the same time, it kind of makes sense. But there have been reports that Sherrone has had a very sexually charged life online where he has reached out to multiple OnlyFans models and even went to a Diddy party at one point. So Sherrone is he's going to be getting a lot of light shined on his shadows here in the next couple days, and we're going to find out exactly how much all of this is true. From what we understand about the alleged assault as well, it was a knife-wielding assault. And from what I understand, it was with the woman that he had been cheating with. Everybody also heard that he was threatening his own life. All of this is really starting to spiral into a really ugly situation. We'll give you as much updates as we can, especially next week when all of this comes to a head and we figure out what the charges he will be facing is. But as of right now, Sherrone Moore, former head coach of Michigan, this is one of the ugliest situations that I've seen in college ball in a long time. I feel for him and his family, to be honest with you. But at the same time, I kind of echo what TJ Hushmanzada said as well. And if we got time, we might as well play it. But TJ really summed it up perfectly on his pod the other day. So let's hear from TJ Hushmanzada.
Steve and you're in a relationship with where you're doing a show together for how many years? 4?
That's Kellerman.
5.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't have any Hushmanzada.
You don't have TJ Hoosh down there? Right here? The thoughts on Sherrone Moore? Well, I mean, I can tell you. TJ said that's on him. He's a dummy for even considering this. Like, it's and honestly, I highlight that as well for a lot of these people. I mean, when you have a family, especially one with children, and you're willing to risk it all for OnlyFans? Really? Like, and obviously the assistant wasn't an OnlyFans girl, but how sexually charged is your life away from football that you need this right now? And on top of that, there was apparently reports that he felt that people were out to get him in the University of Michigan, and maybe that's the front office he's referring to. And to be honest, two things could be true. They might have been out to get him, because I've heard a lot of Michigan fans say, well, he was going to get fired just because he lost to Ohio State. He beat Ohio State last year. So I don't think that was the case. A lot of this is just stemming towards the fact that an anonymous tipper had told the athletic director something was going on between him and the assistant. They did an investigation a couple years ago, didn't come up with anything, or at least nothing to really go off of. And then at the end of that, they decided, okay, well, we have nothing here, so we're just going to let that go. The AD goes to a football convention in Vegas and gets another anonymous tip from somebody else. They reopen the investigation, and that's when they figured out that all of this was actually transpiring between him and the assistant. And again, this is all coming post-signing day, which a lot of people are really angry about Michigan for, because if you don't realize, signing day is the day where all recruits make their final decisions on what school they will be attending. And obviously, when you hear that a coach that you just said you want to go play for isn't going to be there next year, a lot of people aren't going to finalize their recruitment to that team. And for Michigan to just kind of throw this under the rug and pretend like it never happened, but at the same time admit that there were some sort of wrongdoing is really weird. So again, we'll get you all the information as much as we can as this stuff develops. It's just a really ugly situation for Sherrone Moore. And I feel for his family more than anything. But again, I echo what TJ Hushmanzada said. You can find it on the internet that he is saying this is just dumb for him to have risked it all for something as simple or as stupid as this. Why are you messing around with anybody when you have a family and kids? It's not okay. It's just not. And I have to agree with him 110%. There's nothing in the world that should be that way. You know what I mean? Like, you should never risk everything when you have a wife and 3 beautiful daughters just because you want a side piece. It's absolutely ridiculous to me. And then to heighten this woman's career too, talking about the woman he's been sleeping with, because some of you may not know, this is an assistant that was probably pretty low on the chart before he got the head coaching job. And then he promoted her all the way to head assistant, doubled her salary. And just, again, this dude was just doing some really, 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 really crooked stuff. And I cannot for the life of me, as somebody who I personally, pulling back the curtain, and I know nobody really gives a dang, but never done it. Never will. Never cheated, never will. That's one of my big things.
Me too. It's just a dirty road.
It really is. And it never works out. It always confuses me that you guys have to pick the person that's right next to you, the most likely suspect.
Right.
The one your wife is probably already thinking he's cheating on me with, even though you're not. Like, come on, dude. You got to be smarter than that.
Well, we'll take our quick break real quick, and we'll come back with Alejandro from Bakersfield Pizza District Cafe.
And he's already breaking out the food, and I'm getting hungry.
I can smell it, but we'll be right back right here on KGO Sports Talk.
Welcome back. Early Bird Special right here on KGBO Sports Talk, 101.1 FM, 12:30 a.m. And we have the real champ in here right now. Beating everybody at the radio station right now. Our guy Alejandro Ocampo is in here from Bakersfield Pizza Company. You got Camino Real,
District
Cafe. Sir, good to see you. It's been some time.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Blessed and happy to be here with you guys.
Thank you so
How
much
was your
for joining
Thanksgiving?
us. Absolutely.
Thanksgiving was too fast, right?
I mean, I need to sneak over to your Thanksgiving because God, that turkey must be fan-freaking-tastic.
Yeah,
I
turkey
gotta say.
with tortillas.
Ooh.
And then when you have leftover turkey, you make flautas the next day.
Heck yeah.
We made big breakfast burritos out of everything. Just threw eggs and everything else in it.
Well, I mean, shoot, he brought us everything. He brought us chicken fried steak today. You got a biscuit and gravy. Hold on, I got it.
Yeah, sorry, my full-time job. I'll be taking a Mimi after this, and I'll be in a little bit late, but I'll work late.
10 minutes ain't gonna hurt you. But hold on, let me put it in the camera
10
real
minutes.
quick. That would be the biscuit, which is bigger than my face. And covered in a homemade gravy, correct?
Yeah, it's a bacon sausage gravy with chunks of chopped country fried steak added in there as well, and then we topped it off with our garlic chili oil.
Yes, because I like spicy, so he threw it all on there for me. And then hold on, I can't even carry this thing. That would be the chicken fried steak.
Yeah,
with fixins, and it's again bigger than my face.
Yeah.
So, sir, again, thank you for the food. We really appreciate it as always. But how do you get how do people not know about this yet? Like this has got to be the biggest chicken fried steak I've ever seen, ever had, and will enjoy on every occasion.
You know, I don't blame everybody for not knowing about us, but you know, in Bakersfield, there's so many amazing restaurants, and you know, I know a lot of these other restaurants. I see them when we're out, you know, at Smart and Final or Sam's Club, or you know, running around trying to get stuff for the weekend, and I think that's what it is. There's so many amazing restaurants here in Bakersfield.
Oh, yeah.
How do you narrow it down to one? How do you support just one? So
it's true.
I
mean, you have three.
I was gonna say especially when you own three.
That's why I opened three, so you can support three, not just one.
Exactly.
No. So I think it's difficult when people have to make that choice. So I think it's important to be able to be on the radio like I am right now. It's also important for me to use this avenue to be a voice for the people that don't have this opportunity.
Absolutely.
So I think it's I want to acknowledge all the restaurants in Kern County, you know, all the hard work that they do, and the community. Support your corner restaurants, you know.
Absolutely.
Go
And
out
do you
there.
usually do breakfast at these restaurants?
District, we're open at 8 o'clock
Okay.
every day. We used to open at 7, but everybody would show up late, so we were like, you know what, we're just gonna open
We might
at
as
8.
well wait. Yeah.
So we open at 8 to 2 every day. We do a great breakfast, and then we do a great lunch at the same time.
Shoot, you have this breakfast, you're not going to be able to make it to lunch. I'm going to tell you right now.
After that, you do need a designated
I won't
driver.
even need dinner.
You need a DD, man.
Oh my God.
You will get a driving while full, a DW.
Right?
So you got breakfast taken care of at the district. I know you guys have an incredible lunch special at Bakersfield Pizza Company,
yeah.
which again should tell everybody what that is.
Yeah, so at district you have great lunch specials. At Bakersfield Pizza we have a slice, a soda, and a side for $10 if you mention that you heard
Can't
it on
beat
the
that.
radio. And then at Camino Real we do have an amazing lunch buffet from 11 to 2. It's $16. It's the price of a combo meal, but you get enchiladas, chile verde, chile rojo, tacos, taquitos, salad bar, churros. I mean, $16 for a limited churros. I'm there.
Man,
Right?
I already lost 60 pounds this year. You're going to make me gain all that back. This is going to be ridiculous.
Those-
I got to go try the churros.
We have salad.
Oh, well, why would I go for salad, Alejandro? Come on.
Hey,
You
those
can-
salads ain't no
you
joke
can-
either, man.
Unlimited salad. No, there's a lot. I think we have plenty of options at all 3 locations. So we would like people to come check us out.
Absolutely. And again, get the times and addresses out there real quick before we forget.
I don't even know. Hold on, let me look at the addresses.
Yeah, I know you're mostly on the district area, right? Like
Yeah.
down there next to White Lane and all of that.
So we're on District and Stein on both sides. So District is on one side, District Cafe, and then Camino Real is on the other side.
Yeah.
And then we have Bakersfield Pizza Company and the Home Depot shopping center on Ming Avenue. We're right next to the lumber department. So if you're going to get some lumber, go get some pizza as well.
Oh, man. I was just going to say, last time me and my wife went out to Camino Real, I went out to get some fresh air, and I looked right across the street. I was like, I didn't know that it was that close. I was like, look, babe, it's right there. And she's like, I'm full, babe. I don't want to go anywhere. But no, man.
Out of all the Home Depots, you went to that one, right?
Right.
You knew exactly what you were doing.
Camino Real right now. It's so hard to pick which one I want for dinner. So I just asked the wife, "Hey, you want some pizza?" She loves the old fashioned over at Bakersfield Pizza. Yeah. Me personally, I'm on this Camino Real kick. So right now, I'm just hooked, man.
Just the amount of tequilas and stuff like that you can have.
And the food, man.
That pepper jack sauce, man.
Oof. Yes, that dip that we start with the appetizer.
That chorizo, that queso dip, yeah.
Gosh, and then whatever you put in the center of that.
Oh, the molcajete salsa.
Oh my, that's
key. Actually the salsa that's in your burrito.
Okay.
The burrito that I brought, it's called the Mexoki burrito. So it's a Mexican oki, and what it is
that why Scott's dancing over here?
Probably.
It's our pork chile con carne and the molcajete salsa. It's a roasted salsa, and then we add the gravy with eggs and cheese. So it's a combination of two cultures coming together to create something beautiful.
What's real cool is we sit up at the bar and we'll mingle with people that have came in, and I always like, what did you order? Because like I haven't tried that yet. And not only do you have the regular menu that they hand out, but you have the QR code that even extends the menu.
The whole hidden menu. And then on social media, we actually, you know what we did? We just did a new pizza. We ended up calling it the Big Al, inspired by Al Capone from Chicago.
Okay.
It's a Chicago-inspired 2-inch thick pizza.
Ooh.
The way we make it, it's really fun. It's the tray. We do garlic butter first. We do 2 handfuls of cheese on the pan with the garlic butter. We throw the dough on top of that. We form it. Then we do more cheese, Italian sausage. We run it through the oven. Comes out. Hit it with robusta renera. Comes out. Hit it with fried pepperonis, all crispy on top. Sprinkle with Parmesan cheese. Bada bing, bada boom. Come get your Big L at Bakersfield.
I can only take so much, sir. You're making me do a Homer Simpson impression. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm gonna start watering right now.
I will.
This is absolutely incredible.
We do it for $20 on Thursday.
Okay.
But if you go any other day, it's $30.
Okay.
But we had so many people there last night trying it, and people were just loving it.
Is that part of the lunch special as well? Can you do the
heck no.
Good Lord?
I think that's what I shared yesterday.
Can you tell them that you're watching a food video?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, you
honestly, you can show it to the camera if you wanted to, but like this is
confirmed. We are looking at
this is a food video. I promise you, this is not anything. It says Sherrone Moore situation. I promise.
I don't want those voices to be misconstrued.
Oh my good God, man.
I'm a sucker for those wings too, man.
And that again, you can't go wrong at any of the 3 restaurants that you have. So obviously that answers my question though. There ain't no way that's part of the lunch special. You can't get that for $10.
That's not, but it's still a great deal. I mean, 2 slices and you're done.
Yeah,
it comes with 6 slices, so that could easily serve three people.
Absolutely,
it's a great pizza. It's amazing flavors.
I can't wait to try it for my dang
the
self,
Big Al.
man.
Go ask for the Big Al.
100%. And Thursday is $20. Every other day
from 6 to 8, we do it for $20. Every other day is $30.
Okay,
it's a great deal. The amount of it's like a pizza lasagna. I mean, it's Chicago inspired. It's thick. It's big. It's carby.
And, ever since we lost Cubby's, there really hasn't been a Chicago style pizza joint anywhere close. So.
I can't say I'm as good as them, but they were here locally. They were a landmark.
Yeah,
everybody knew to go there. So ours is inspired. So we did our best. We won't claim to be original, but it's inspired. But
I mean, you guys do a dang good job, and that looks fantastic.
Yeah, we do Bakersfield pizza.
100%.
Yeah, we don't do
the Bakersfield style pizza.
That's
you know what? That's an interesting question. What would you think Bakersfield style would be?
An old fashioned on your right hand.
Really?
Yeah, that's an old fashioned. That's Bakersfield style.
That sounds
like a good deal to me.
Pizza, country music, and an old fashioned
in your hand. Shoot, that's a Sunday to me.
That's Bakersfield for you, baby.
Good.
Now then we got everything. I mean, we got chile verde pizza. We got chile rojo. We got one that's called the Camino pizza, where it has carnitas, chorizo, and chile rojo on a pizza.
That's my favorite too.
Yeah, so we just have a lot of fun with it. Our menus at all locations are 100% community inspired, community driven, and that's the secret. Really listen to the community. Really, create stuff that is inspired by the people that support us. So.
Right. And playoff time is here for football, obviously, which means everybody's going to be rushing to bars to watch these games.
Yep.
Are you going to be doing anything special when these things start up?
So we have a lot of the happy hour specials that get extended during the games. But yeah, just come out, check us out. We have daily specials every day. I could sit here for about 2 hours going over everything that we do. Or you could follow us, look us up, Bakersfield Pizza Co, Camino Real Kitchen and Tequila, and the District Cafe. We always got something going on.
My Dolphins are playing on Monday. Probably the last time they'll be on prime time for a while. So I'm trying to, get the whole family together, a couple of friends, and get over there because
I would join you, but I'd be there at like the fourth quarter. Yeah, the time I leave this place.
Well, it's all good,
So-
but I'm still going down the wing list, and I know you have mentioned that if you have it on the menu, you can mix and match things around. And we had a text saying he wanted to try the peanut butter and jelly wings.
Yeah, the PB&J wings are really cool. It's like a peanut Thai sauce mixed with our strawberry habanero sauce. We mix it together, then we hit it with a little bit of crushed Ritz crackers on top for added texture and saltiness.
That's what it is on the crackers on top.
Yeah.
Well, his question is, do you make that pizza?
We could make it, yeah. Yeah, we could make it. It would be the fried chicken, it'd be the peanut butter Thai sauce, and it would be the strawberry chili sauce and the cheese. So we could definitely we'll probably throw on like some Ritz crackers when it comes out of the oven to make it like pepperonis to add.
Come down on Monday. I'll get it. I know my wife will
text
eat
me.
up that.
I'll make it for you.
Absolutely.
I got you. Don't even trip.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean,
Again, we are 100% community driven. See that interaction right there? It's like,
right
boom,
there.
we can do it.
absolutely.
You
I
know?
mean, and you're open to anything, right? Like
Yeah.
I've heard you say that you'll make pretty much anything as long as you have the stuff to make it.
I've been known to run across the street from District to Camino Real to grab stuff to make it for a customer. We're here for you. You know, when you walk through the doors, it's our job to make sure we do the best we can to do so you leave happy.
You can't beat that service, man. You really can't.
And I think that's a commitment to our community and a lot of local restaurants. That's the difference when you go to a local restaurant. You'll see us working there. You could talk to the owner. You could talk to the people that started it. If we're doing something wrong, let me know. Don't go to Yelp and vent your frustration. I'm not just talking about me personally. I'm talking about every other restaurant. Like, there's no better way. If something went wrong, ask for a manager. If there's no manager, call, talk to the owner. We love feedback. Give us an opportunity to make things right.
And there's no way for you guys to fix it if you don't know there's a problem.
The thing with Yelp is a lot of times you get upset. You go on there, you put stuff up there, and it really hurts a business, right?
It does. Because those stay up there.
Yes. If you reach out to the business and you give them an opportunity to make it right or assess the situation and kind of, okay, you know what? Yeah, we messed up. We dropped the ball.
Right.
Let's make this right. How can we make this right? So give local businesses that opportunity.
100%.
Yeah, especially now, man. Businesses are struggling, and we need that.
And to play devil's advocate, because I have never done a negative Yelp review like that, but I know some people who have, and a lot of the time they could just think, well, even if I said anything, I'm just going to get, slander back, or they're going to call me the bad guy or something like that. But if you have that open communication with the community, it won't hurt anybody's feelings just to say, hey, this was a little bit off this time.
We want to know.
Right.
Because there's been times when people tell me like, hey, this roasted corn is ridiculously spicy. And I'm like, whatever. And then I try it. I'm like, oh my God. And I go to the
little
kitchen.
bit too much.
And I'm like, what did you guys do? They're like, we use this. And it's like a chile piquin powder, which is like a ridiculously spicy chili. That looks exactly like chili powder. And I took that. I was like, who brought this? And I was like, I don't know. That's what they brought us when you guys ordered the order. And I was like, bro, this is ridiculous.
So they swapped you guys out and you guys didn't even know.
We didn't know it because they looked the same. And so, yeah, I would have known. I would have just been like,
well, and vice versa too. I mean, somebody who comes into your restaurant for the first time tries the corn and then says, wow, this is awesome. I love how spicy it is. And they come in the second time and it's not there. Now they're disappointed because it's not as spicy.
This was unbearable. You could not
really?
Even, yeah. And so I started thinking about it. When did we start using this? The guy's like, this morning. I was like, no wonder people are like not touching the corn. We sold a bunch of margaritas, People
of course.
Yeah, they need to water themselves down.
Yeah. So if that person wouldn't have reached out and told me right then and there, we would have just kept serving it.
Right.
But we were informed. We fixed it, and boom, there you go.
And
that's how it happened. So
the small things that can change the bad things that you see.
I'm only here because I went to go check on a customer. This gentleman right here, when you were eating at Bakersfield Pizza.
Okay.
I didn't know who you were.
Now he's got a point.
I was just table touching.
Yeah. And that's the coolest thing. That's why I always tell people, shop local, go eat local, shop for your Christmas stuff local, because that's the human touch. Is when
100%.
the owner's walking around. You don't get that anywhere else.
I did not know who you were.
Yeah.
I was just walking around. I saw you guys having a great time, and the conversation started. At no point was I, pitched advertising.
Yeah, I'm not a sales guy.
I came here because you guys invited me, and now I'm doing advertising because that's how it works.
Yes, absolutely.
And I would have never known about the relationship with Camino Real and District Cafe, and now Me and my family, this is when, my son is, I like Rusty's. I like the potato wedges. I'm like, dude,
There are
check
better
out Bakersfield
pizzas.
Pizza. Now he's hooked. He loves the garlic bombs. My wife likes the peanut butter and jelly wings. I'm like,
Rusty's is local too.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
I
it's
can't
not
say
Bakersfield Pizza though.
no. There, it's difficult because I'll tell you what, people are diehard Rusty's fans.
Oh yeah.
And my job is not to replace Rusty's.
Of course.
No. My job is to add another option. And
100%.
I want to go back to the community interaction. Again, when I talked to you, it was just an amazing interaction, and I walked away and that was it. And then when you circled back and you mentioned like, hey, I do a radio show and you could come on and talk. And I was like, yeah, man, that's awesome. I didn't expect that. And I didn't expect to get invited here multiple times. And so I think it speaks volumes to how important it is to interact with your customers, to be involved in the community, Toys for Tots, feeding the homeless. A lot of these actions that are unseen, those are more important than the ones where you talk about and you post like, oh, I did this for the community. Let other people talk about you.
Yeah, right.
And I want to be an advocate for local restaurants. Get in front of the camera, get out there, talk to your customers, be involved with your customers, be involved with the community. The community puts love back and it gets reciprocated. Everything you put into the food, the attention to detail gets reciprocated by the community support.
We have you started the conversation by saying how many great restaurants we have
amazing
here, and
restaurants.
there are some that have come and gone.
Yeah.
And I see the same issue with each one that is left. And it's they don't have ownership like you, like Cassie Biddle, like all these people who walk around and handle it not by themselves, but do that community interaction. They talk to you, they tell you, hey, what is good about this, what's not, and you guys get that feedback. That's how you're going to stay here for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And when you have good food, people in Bakersfield will come back.
Yeah,
they always do. I mean, I've seen so many restaurants come in that start out amazingly. They're always packed out. And then within 2 months, it's crickets. It's a ghost town because no one ever wants to go back. But you and Cassie and all these other people give reason for these customers to come back because they feel like they can. They feel like they're part of it.
What's part of the family?
Exactly. And you can get into it. And like you just said about the recipes, I could ask you, hey, I would like this, but on a pizza. And you'll do it like that. And it's not because you want to overcharge somebody for it, but it's because you're curious, like, you know what, how would that work? It might actually work out better for everybody if we did it that way. And that is unique in my opinion.
And I'll say the same thing. The first time we met, we were having pizza and I was trying to sell my son on, there's other pizzas. I personally, I love Rusty's, but when you have something over and over for years and years, you're like overdone. I'm like, I'm good.
It becomes
now they're hooked. And he came out and Alejandro came out, explained what the menu was, the same as Camino Real and District Cafe. He comes out. I think the first time me and my wife had Camino Real, you ordered the food for us because we didn't know what's good. And now every time we already know what we're going to get the appetizer. My wife's hooked on a certain
He
thing.
sent me pictures of everything they ate.
I'm trying to test new things.
By the
I'm
way,
like, I'm hooked, dude. I'm
it's
hooked.
like you got this white boy hooked on Mexican food, my friend. That is a
human
positive.
touch is what started this relationship, and I love it, man.
Yeah, no, I'm very appreciative. Again, I didn't expect to be here. I didn't to be a voice, to have the opportunity to speak.
And we love giving that to you, my friend, because honestly, I agree with you. I think you sitting here and being an advocate for local restaurants is exactly what some of these guys need.
Yeah, and you mentioned something like when a restaurant opens, everybody goes, and then after 2 months, it kind of stopped going, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's really important. I run into customers all the time, and they're like, "Man, we got to put you in the rotation." And I get it. People go to various restaurants, and so
Support local.
Add another local spot into your rotation. If you're not, if I'm on your rotation, don't come to me. Go to another local place that doesn't have the avenue or social media or the opportunity to be on the radio. Add them because they need it. And I know this because I run into them all the time, and they're always asking me like, "What can we do? What can we do different?"
Well,
so I try to help them.
Now that you're part of the AGM family here, obviously we'll hopefully be seeing you at some of our events like Brunch Fest and Mac and Cheese Fest, right?
Yes, I'm excited.
See some of these unique things come to these events for everybody to come try.
Yeah. Again, it started off as an interaction at my restaurant, just kind of following up on food, and here we are on the radio. We're gonna start doing some advertising with the radio store. Here's a radio store plug-in.
Yes,
absolutely. So you get a good deal on some coupons, gift certificates that we're putting out. We're going to be doing some giveaways here on the radio soon. So yeah, we just want to grow with our new extended family, and we invite our community to come out and visit not just my locations, all
of them.
local institutions and restaurants.
110%. Is there any that right now you could think of you could think of off the top of your head that you want to shout out that some people should go check out?
Definitely Bakersfield Pizza Company,
Obviously.
the District Cafe and Company.
Obviously.
No, there's so many. I can't pick one, honestly. There's a lot of really great places here in town. Go out, drive, look at a local place, go visit them, give them your support, buy gift cards.
That's what my next question is. You guys do gift cards?
Yeah, we do gift cards. So, and the reason I'm saying this is right now, businesses have experienced a slowdown. There is a slowdown, and we just need more community support for all restaurants, not just mine.
Well, before we wrap it up, I know you have the Thanksgiving menu. Is there
We
anything added for the Christmas?
We were working on some things, but
I know you're always working on something.
On the back, we got a lot going on right now. We have the app that we're finalizing, the loyalty rewards app. We have some new family meal deals at Camino Real that'll be coming out soon, where it's like a meal for 5 for $35. Yeah.
What?
So yeah, we kind of like crispy tacos, rice, beans, like a big tray. Everything's on there.
Nice.
You can serve your whole family for $35.
Okay.
We've met a lot of people that want to have the sit down experience but can't necessarily afford sometimes the sit down experience. So instead of having families being stuck in a drive-through, we want families to come in and experience being served. You know, with under $40, you could serve a family for 5.
Absolutely.
And that's what we got working on. We did it during COVID when we were outside selling chicken, rice, and beans out of a parking lot, and we noticed that a lot of people, the first thing they say is, you know, sorry, I haven't been out. Things have been a little tough. So we're gonna make some changes on the menu to accommodate those situations and to make sure everybody could have a hot meal.
God, you give back in so many different ways, my friend. I really appreciate that about you.
It's important not to run a restaurant as an owner. Sometimes you got to run it as a person, as a human being, and to see what the community needs and wants and try to accommodate that. So guess what? When you do have money, you are getting that tax, income tax
tax return.
The tax return. You're gonna come here. You're gonna spend a lot of money in my restaurant.
You'll remember.
Yeah,
that's a local touch.
Yes.
But we appreciate it, Alejandro. We'll get you back in here in a couple weeks.
I hope you guys enjoy your burritos and
enjoy the heck out of this. Trust me.
Yeah.
So
awesome.
Thank you so much for your time, my friend. I can't wait to talk to you again.
We appreciate you. Thank you, Bakersfield.
And I will be down there very, very soon to try out that PB&J pizza because that sounds fantastic.
The PB&J and the Big Al.
And the Big Al. Yes, the Big Al. Don't forget about the Big Al. We got to take a break real quick. We'll get back to it on the other side. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk.
Nice. Can you guys hear me?
goodness. I'm sorry.
What, spicy?
I had to take a bite of
Your face is
chicken fried steak, man. Oh my God. All right. Welcome back. Early Bird Special right here on KGO Sports Talk as you hear the underrated rapper of John Cena, who is having his final wrestling match this weekend. And what better place to go watch it than Dionysus Brewing? And with us, as he always is when we talk Dionysus, is our friend Kyle Pittser. Sir, how are you? Good to see you.
Nice seeing you guys.
Uh-oh. I got no audio. Do me a favor, my friend. Go to your settings. It should be a microphone option right underneath your the name that you put in there. But just while he's working on that, we'll chime in and figure out our side real quick. Like we said, John Cena, Saturday night's main event this weekend. An incredible card, in my personal opinion, even though we're going to have to deal with John Cena's match being first. Which
is it really? Because I'm getting conflicts of reports saying that it's not.
I hope it's not. I really do. I hope it's not. But at this point, everything that I've read has said John's going first. John and Gunther are going first. They're getting this out of the way. And then we're going to get the Bailey, Sol Ruca, then the tag team. Then we'll end with Cody and Oba, which most likely will end with some sort of interference from Drew McIntyre, because obviously you can't have either of these champions looking weak with a loss. We'll see how it works out. But the WWE deciding, or at least from what I have read, that John and Gunther will lead off the show. I'm disappointed. I am not going to lie to you. I am very much disappointed. We heard our guy KG say it the other day. It's a waste. I mean, we have been building this up for over a year, and we can't get – there he is. We can't get Kyle? John.
Can you guys hear me?
There
we go. There we go.
Sorry about that. This streaming site has been iffy today. It made me look dumb this morning too. So you're not alone.
Just dumb.
Hey, luckily it's Friday.
It is. It is Friday. At least it's a Friday. Good, sir. It's good to see you, as it always is. Obviously, Dionysus Brewing will be playing this fantastic pay-per-view this weekend.
The sour pickle beer, is that what I'm hearing?
There's a sour pickle beer now?
Yeah. I mean, people were tying me up and, threatening me if I didn't bring it back. So I had to bring it back. And it might be a normal thing. So it might just stay on all the time.
This one is more popular than the Fruity Pebble one?
Oh, dude, so I've done some research. Apparently, pickle does something to people's brains, and they crave it. So I don't know. Like everyone would ask for it, so I just brought it back. We still have the Fruity Pebbles, but I think I got to phase that one out now. Scarcity.
We've been saying that the last couple of times you've been on the show. I think this thing is too popular for you to get rid of, my friend.
I know. We won't know until we take it away.
Exactly.
Once you take it away, then people are going to be really, really hunting you down. I know the pickle thing is real. I mean,
it is.
My son and his friends are all about these pickle salt fries at McDonald's for the Grinch. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? And then I saw the post with the pickled beer. I'm like, dude, I got to talk to Kyle on Friday, man.
This is interesting. I mean, I love pickles, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to drink a whole beer that tastes like one. But
I mean, we even put a whole pickle spear in the drink too. So you gotta love pickles, man.
I'm just saying, but there hasn't been a single beer I've had at your place that I haven't enjoyed. So it's like you're most likely gonna make me enjoy this one too. I won't.
We have to bring the Flavor Town.
Exactly,
Flavor Town.
We're
going into Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, what do you guys got going on?
So it is John Cena's last time is now, which I don't think it really is, but you know how it is wrestling. I heard you guys talking about he might be the first wrestling match, which I think if it is John Cena, he probably is going to do that because he wants to showcase everyone else after. But I think most people would tune out after that. So hopefully it's not the last match. But yeah, we are showing it. It's 5 p.m. We got 2 food trucks. It's going to be a good time.
Fantastic.
What kind of food trucks?
Yeah, that's a good question.
El Sazon. It's Mexican style food. You got burritos, shrimp, carne asada, tacos. Then you got Hopeton's Jamaican food, which is always fantastic.
The mainstay, the staple that we see down there at Dionysus every so often. Fantastic to hear.
Great.
And between, I know we talked about the Cena and Gunther. We're all so excited that it's Gunther that got the match. But going down the list, I know that there's some NXT guys, coming up. You know, we got the Uba against Cody and the other ones. Is there any certain matches that you're kind of looking forward to as a fan?
You know, I've been keeping my eye on like Sol Ruka. I
Mhm.
feel like she is a high flyer. She's going to show out against Bailey. I actually think she'll beat Bailey because I think they're trying to push her into the main event stage.
Mhm.
Now, these other guys, like I know this is a tag team match with NXT guys, they might even win the belts from AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. So I think NXT is going to have a big night.
I think so too. And honestly, I think you already said it, but John wants to showcase who's coming up next, not just who's already here. And one, Sol Ruka has one of the best finishers in all of wrestling. The Soul Snatcher is really cool. For those of you who don't watch, what she does is she runs up the corner and pretty much executes a backflip while also grabbing you and doing a cutter, which is incredible. I don't know of a lot of people that could really pull that off athletically in general, not even Randy Orton, who probably has the best diamond cutter of all time. And honestly, I think all of these kids are going to look fantastic. I really do. I think that Javon and, oh, Lord, the kid from TNA, Leon Slater, thank you, are going to look fantastic. Don't know if they pull off a win against AJ and Dragon Lee, but they're going to look great. And Javon Evans has really gotten a major push lately, specifically just from being in this tournament.
Yeah, I like that guy.
So I think that they're really, I think you're right. I think every NXT star they have chosen for this, call it a PLE, but it's really just a Saturday night event. But each one of them, I think, is going to be an up and comer here very, very soon in the main roster.
You know, it surprises me that they had Ricky Starks lose the belt.
Yeah.
I thought they would pair him with Cody Rhodes because they're like best friends.
Yep, I was thinking
and
the same thing.
I just read that yesterday that they think that he is the guy that's in the black suit.
I've heard that.
Oh,
I've heard that
I didn't even think about that.
Well, because there are two rumors that I'm now hearing. For those of you who are not wrestling fans and don't understand what we're talking about, there was an instance in the last pay-per-view where a man dressed in all black came and helped out the bad team win the entire thing. I am now hearing rumor that both myself and KG might be right, that one day, the day at Survivor Series, it was Austin Theory who was the one who climbed the cage and stomped. And then
multiple people
on Monday Night Raw, it was Montez Ford who was the one doing it. I'm also going to throw in a little bit of a caveat here. This could just be Seth growing his new faction in front of our eyes.
His own view.
Yes, exactly. And then when they finally reveal who it is, it will most likely be multiple people. They'll probably pull the Scream situation where they're like, you thought it was one, but it was really two. And then we'll get a whole faction of what's coming next, which I wouldn't be surprised if both of the Street Profits, including Angelo Dawkins, will be added to this group. Because if Montez is going, why wouldn't Angelo go with him?
100%.
So
I mean, that would be a dope team.
Do you think that we see some sort of emergence at Saturday night's main event? Do you think that he makes an appearance, or do you think they're just going to wave it off because there's nobody in the vision that's part of this yet?
I mean, it's Chris Jericho. No, I was kidding. It's not Chris Jericho. We would definitely know if it was Chris Jericho.
By now? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And just said, nah, all these
guys. I know. You just made the list. It's, I don't know. I'm personally tired of Seth Rollins having 100 different factions.
True.
I would love to see him not be a part of this. I do like how they're using his stomp to kind of confuse people.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we'll see what happens. This is like the most exciting thing that's been happening since about John Cena's heel turn, I feel like.
Yeah.
So they're trying to cook up something nice and they're getting the internet buzzing. Like you said, I feel like the person that was masked, they look different from Survivor Series, from that Raw. Because that 1-0 Raw does look like Montez Ford.
Yeah, it's a little thinner. Like you can notice the size difference a little bit. So that's why I've seen so many pictures comparing the one from Survivor Series to Austin Theory's build. So it's like, okay, that kind of makes sense to me. But Monday, I was like, maybe that isn't him. Maybe they are trying to pull this whole, like, you don't know who's under the mask thing. Because now Seth is running around Good Morning Football and all that without the sling. He's looking fine. They were just at the Laker game 2 nights ago with Becky, and Becky was throwing her pitch of being the real IC champ and all that type of stuff.
Man, I love her.
And
Well,
she's
brought up-
becoming fun to watch as a heel too, though.
Well, bringing up basketball, we got the NBA Cup. The semifinals is the same night, Saturday, and then I believe the actual Cup finals is Tuesday night.
Yes, I believe you're right.
Is there anybody you could think of, Pittser, that can stop OKC right now?
Nobody.
That's what I'm saying, dude. They're
Really
winning
nobody.
by 50. Like it's not even fair. And for people who don't know as well, they have potentially 2 lottery picks.
Yep.
In this next draft. Because we all know about the Clippers pick, but they also have the Jazz's pick too, if it's not in the top 8.
They are literally built for the future.
They really are.
And for the now.
Absolutely. Well, you as a Heat fan, though, I mean, I know you've been kind of searching around of who's going to be your guys' next superstar. One has come up now in the trade. Giannis is up in the air again. Do you think that you guys finally make that trade?
Here's the thing about the Heat is the second, at least for me, and I'm sure I speak for a lot of Heat fans, is we get to a breaking point where it's like trade Hero, trade these other guys, especially Rozier if you can. I don't know if we can because he's kind of going through some allegations, but if we could trade those guys, do it. But then all of a sudden they go on these crazy win streaks and you're like, actually this team looks good, but now we're in that same boat. We're on a 4-game losing streak. All of a sudden Giannis is looking really nice out there. So I wouldn't mind getting Giannis. You get Giannis, Bam, and you got Khalil Ware. I mean, those 3 big guys on the court would be like hard to defend and score against. So
it'd be a positive going forward. And actually, that's something interesting that I totally forgot, but I can ask you as well, because the whole Terry Rozier situation as it's going, he pled not guilty earlier this week to all the gambling charges. And there's actually a story mulling around the NBA right now that not a lot of people are talking about, but the trade that happened last year for the Miami Heat to get Terry Rozier, apparently this investigation was happening during that trade process, and the Hornets didn't say a thing.
Yep.
So Miami's feeling a little spurred, not only by Charlotte, but by the entire NBA for not even being told that this guy's being investigated for something that could potentially end his career. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, and I want to say it was a 2027 first-round pick. So
yes,
and they're talking about getting that pick back.
They should.
I guess it really depends how this plays out, but I think at the end of the day, we're going to move on from Rozier. But I think that whole trade was a flop, and it should be voided regardless. Because if he's under investigation, he should not have been traded.
Right.
That should have voided immediately.
Right. Honestly, that's where I'm at. I'm like, I think you guys should get the pick back. And honestly, regardless of which way this goes, because the NBA needs to find some sort of transparency. I get maybe you didn't want Terry to kind of know you were looking into all this, because obviously if he knew, then he would stop the gambling and it would automatically, ruin the investigation. But you have to have some transparency with the teams, right? You got to at least be able to say, hey, maybe you don't trade for Terry, because we're currently looking into something right now. But that's why I had to ask you, because you being a fan, if I was a fan of Miami, would be absolutely livid that this is happening to my team.
Well, and I never liked that trade to begin with. He hasn't performed for us. He's maybe averaged 12 points a game, if that. So it's like someone like him should be averaging 15, 17 points a game minimum.
100%. Especially with what you saw in his time in Boston and all of this other, like, he really does look like somebody that can be a starting point guard in the league, barring all of this gambling stuff, and hopefully it ends up going, the way you want it to. But I had to get your thoughts, just because like they should get that first round pick back at the very least.
100%.
Go ahead.
Oh, that's it. That's all I got for it.
With the last couple of minutes we have, I had 2 questions for you. One, it's going back to football where we started, but the Denver Broncos, how you feeling?
Sir.
I have nothing but faith in you guys, man. I'm gonna tell you right
now. Last week was the first week where we didn't have a nail biter, so that was nice.
True.
But every week we're finding a way to.
True.
Yeah. Hey, well, the first game we had, we won 10-7, so it's still a nail biter. So. Bo Nix isn't playing amazing, but he's not playing horrible. So I think if he keeps that up and our defense gets more put together, because the defense is starting to slack a little bit, I think we'll be okay. Cortland Sutton needs to get more targets, at least 10 to 12 a game. Our running game's starting to come alive. I don't know. It really comes down to coaching. I think our coaching is just really superior at this point. The play calling is not that great, but the coaching overall, defense, special teams, I think I'm only worried about the Patriots at this point. Somehow they're winning.
Bringing that up real quick before we let you go and get out of here ourselves, do you want that number 1 overall spot in the AFC and the bye week? Because I don't know, personally, I always say that's actually the worst place to be, because when you are so hot and then you get the bye week and come back the next week, normally the team doesn't play as well as they should.
Home field advantage in Denver is always a huge advantage. So high altitude, those guys are second win. That's what we want.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna have to get you back on here soon, because I want more time to break. I want you to break down this wrestling fantasy. I know we don't have time for it, but I need to know more information about that.
How far are we away from this? And if you need a secondary mind, I will gladly jump in and help you out.
It's live right now. Make your predictions on the website. It's prodraftwrestling.com. We have a prediction page where you can predict the matches for tonight's SmackDown and for Saturday Night Main Event.
Fantastic. We'll have you on probably next week or something like that, my friend. We'll pump this up a little bit more for wrestling fans.
Dionysus, Saturday night.
Saturday night's Main Event at Dionysus. Don't miss it. We got to get out of the way for the great Rich Eisen. Hope everybody has a great weekend. Join us back here on Monday. Sparky, let's go home.